Alrighty. We'll start off our list here with the Greenskin's most powerful legendary lords. And at the bottom of that list, at number 6, is Azhag the Slaughterer. Now, with a name like the Slaughterer, you might think that he's actually amazing. And he has definitely the best mount of the Greenskins with Skull Muncha. But Azhag has a huge setback in the lore, and that is his Crown of Nagash, the Sorcerer's Crown. He literally gets killed by some randoms because he is distracted by fighting with Nagash for control of his body. So when Nagash is in control, he's the smartest orc ever and has some really good plans and tactics and stuff. But whenever Azhag himself wants to take back control, they just kind of sit there dumbfounded for a bit and can be beheaded by anybody. So that would not go well in a Greenskin Orc War Boss challenge. Putting Azhag at dead last on this list. Poor guy. A little bit of death magic, a spooky wyvern won't save you when you're just staring at the sun. In the number 5 spot is Wurzag the Great Green Prophet, a really good Savage Orc Shaman. Wurzag is a little bit better at support than he is at murdering other Greenskin lords for dominance. Now, he is spooky. I mean, he's ahead of Azhag, because I don't think he would have much issue dealing with Azhag as a mage. And then when Azhag got distracted and did the whole staring at the sun thing, Wurzag could probably crush him with some magic, make his brain boost or something. And Spleen Ripper could do a decent job of keeping him out of the Wyvern's clutches. So I think it would be a magical duel between him and Azhag, and he would come out on top. But I do think he's at number 5 because some of our other combatants are just better in melee than Wurzag is. Coming in at number 4 is Skarsnik. This might seem a little weird because maybe you're like, yeah, sure, in pure melee I could see Skarsnik and his bodyguard Squig Gobla taking Wurzag, but doesn't Wurzag have magic? Couldn't he just pummel these guys from a distance? Kind of. Skarsnik is incredibly sneaky, so I have a feeling if they got in a fight, he would have some kind of plan or way to ambush Wurzag. But let's say they're even just lined up in an arena. It says, you are fighting you to the death. Good luck. Skarsnik's Prada is not really like it is in Warhammer. It pretty much shoots warp lightning from the tip. And the end times, or whenever More Sleep is full, it's even more powered up. So Skarsnik could definitely hold his own at a ranged fight with Wurzag. Long enough, at least, for him and Gobla to get in range and get some fights in. And if Wurzag just tried to charge Skarsnik outright, I mean, that wouldn't even be a contest. Gobla and Skarsnik could easily take Spleen Ripper and Wurzag. So I think it'd be kind of a close fight, but I do think Skarsnik would come out on top most of the time. Also, he's jacked. In the end times, it's revealed that, like, after Gobla dies, he beats a bunch of orcs to death with his bare hands when they try and, challenge him for rulership. Doesn't even use his Prada, just beats them to shit. He's apparently, like, super cut under there. He's got abs in them robes. But, yeah. He's a spooky guy. Number 3 was close between number 2 and number 3, but we're going to go with Gorbad Ironclaw for number 3. He's a pretty fearsome orc war boss. Very strong combatant. Not like a whole lot special to say about him. Nothing really crazy. It's just, he's real good. He's got a big axe. He's got a big armored boar. And he's solid at running people down. He's a crafty leader, though that won't help him as much in this power rankings. Because, 1v1s and whatnot. But I think he's a little bit hindered by his time. Because back when he was raiding the lands of the Empire, there was a lot less technology, so I don't know, it was a little easier for him to raffle stomp the forces of Sigmar for a bit, and then he did get pushed back. But he's a fearsome combatant, makes it to 3 on the list. Very solid, strong guy, but I think he's just outshone by the other 2. They have more gimmicks. Coming in at number 2 is Grom the Paunch. With his lucky Bana, he is very hard to take down, both in Warhammer and in the lore. I mean, it's a lucky Bana for a reason. He never seems to quite get in trouble. His little wolf chariot keeps him mobile, but other than that, he does have the Axe of Grom. He has a lot of regeneration for eating all that troll meat. And that's why I personally think he beat Gorbad. I think, like, 1v1, no gimmicks on the table, Gorbad would win. But I think that regeneration would just make Grom last longer in this contest overall, and the Axe of Grom would prevail over Gorbad. But I think it would be close between the 2 of them. Yeah, Grom's spooky. I mean, he fought elves for quite a while, and elves are some of the best combatants on the planet, and he held his own until Eltharion himself came and found him, but he beat most random elves. Which is not something I can necessarily say about Gorbad, honestly. The Gorbad might not be able to keep up with the elves. Lucky Banner, you lucky asshole. And here we're on the number 1 spot. I think the gap between number 1 and number 2 is larger than the gap between number 2 and number 6. I think Azhag is closer to Grom than Grom is to Grimgore fucking Ironhide. Grimgore is insane. He has ridiculous amounts of plot armor. There's a lot of little tales about him, but he is a black orc that broke out of Zar Nagarund, led an orc rebellion off into the wastes, created, well, not, okay, the Chaos Lords created the black orcs, but he created the Greenskin form of the black orcs, which is leading the black orcs out of Zar Nagarund and dispersing them among the lands. So, Grimgore is the most powerful black orc that's ever existed. He has never lost a fight. There are times where he gets bored and he just went down into Clan Molder's dens, and he killed every monster in Hell Pit and eventually just left because there was nothing left to slay. Hell Pit would have fallen that day if he had cared to, like, take the city, but he just killed all the monsters and left because he was angry. Grimgore fights Archaon the Everchosen in the End Times, and in one version of the End Times, he wins, beating Archaon, kicking him in the dick, literally, and the whole thing is over. But then that was retconned. Instead, he dueled Archaon at the height of Archaon's power, broke the Eye of Assyrian, and would have beaten Archaon in 1v1 combat if Gitsnick hadn't broke. But Gitsnick broke, the Slayer of Kings was a better weapon, so then Grimgore without a weapon fell to Archaon. But yeah, he was winning the duel until that point. So, Grimgore, by far the most powerful Greenskin Lord to ever exist. Roar. Subscribe, yes, yes.